Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of Lead by Example, where today we're going to be talking about how we speak. Now, of course, this whole series, Lead by Example, is about staying out of the crowd and reviewing how we can be a light in this dark world, because obviously a light stands out in the dark. Today we're going to be talking about how we talk, reviewing the words that we say, the approach that we take to life, and maybe how we can tweak that a little bit to really stand out of the crowd. Now, when I was planning this, I had one word that really came to mind: positivity. If we look at how people talk nowadays, it's always so negative. They like to complain, they like to put other people down, right, with their words. That's how they talk. But if we want to stand out, if we want to be a light, what if we try to talk positively? Now, there's a really good Bible verse, and of course the Bible says it best. Ephesians 4:29, "Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up, as it fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear." Right? The Bible says, let no corrupting talk come out of your mouth. Be positive. Don't be negative. Be positive, right? Take the optimistic approach to life, because that's a good example to set for the people around you to say, hey, what if we don't have to be so negative all the time? So many people walk around and they build their career off of just putting people down. But what if we would lift people up? What if we create a whole society of people who just encouraged each other, lifted each other up? How great of a world would that be to live in? And how different would it be from the one that we do? Now, speaking of encouragement, 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, "Therefore encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing." Now, I hope that we're doing that. I hope that we're doing that, but maybe we aren't. And that's something that we can change, right? Build each other up and encourage each other. I'm sure that so many of us can remember a compliment that we once got that really stuck in our head and just made our day, right? I can remember one. And whenever I look back on that, it still makes me smile. Because I was like, wow, that was just really nice of that person to say. So what if we would go around and start making people's days by giving compliments, encouraging? Maybe when someone messes up, we say, hey, it's okay, get back up, let's try again. It's really not that hard, it's just not being done too much. You ever thought about it that way? Where you can be the change. Because people think the only way to get on top is by putting other people down, and then just stepping over them. But what if we reversed that and lifted each other up and encouraged each other? Now, there is one more part that I wanted to address about how we speak. This verse comes from James 1:26. "Those who consider themselves religious and yet do not keep a tight rein on their tongues deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless." Now, that's quite a strong verse, isn't it? Their religion is worthless if they don't keep a tight rein on how they talk. Now, what does that mean? Here's another way to put it. They need to have a filter on the words that they say. Now, so many times it's easy to get sucked into how everyone else talks, and sometimes that's not biblical. The way that we joke, maybe the words that we say. But what if we chose to stand out of the crowd to be a light by not talking like that? You see, if we fit into the crowd, no one's ever going to look at you. But if we decide to stand out of it, you got a whole lot more eyes on you. And once you have the eyes on you, you can point up and say, hey, I know the Lord. Something is different about me because I know God. I personally don't swear, and a lot of people question why, but that's really the reason. I want to stand out of the crowd, and when people look at me and say, what's wrong with you? I'll say, hey, I know God. Well, that's all I got for this one. I hope you guys learned something that you can actually apply to your life. Maybe change the way you talk. But with that, I'll see you guys in the final episode of Lead by Example as we discuss how we live. So I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you then. Peace.